even think about it. Don't 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 even think about it.
Hey everybody, welcome to another night of tags. And we're going to do X-MenUniverse tonight. We do have a schedule change. Not sure if you saw the posts or not, but fortunately because of the tropical storm heading up the East Coast, Sean is not able to join us tonight. But the king himself, Steve, has joined us. So we have a full house tonight. So we got Mike Rooth. We got Dan Lansdown. What's
going on, guys?
And we got Casey.
Hello.
And Steve, like I mentioned. So, yeah.
How you guys doing?
Excellent.
So we have two of you coming back from Granite State. So let's take a few moments to get a quick update on that. How was the show for you guys? I mean, besides the obvious Sunday event, but like, how was the show?
It was
Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's an excellent show. I did 5 very lengthy posts about how excellent it was.
But I'm not a reader. I want to hear it from them.
No, it seems a lot of people aren't readers because everyone thought I won based on the photos I posted.
I did see that.
Well, that's just a testament to your skill, man.
That was not by design, I promise you. It just happened to, like, I had people going, "Congrats, buddy," and I'm like, actually, if you read a little further. But anyway, yeah, no, it was an incredible show, and big shout out to to Sibo and Randy and that whole crew, and Steven and Chris and Bob and Ben Bishop and everyone who was it was just such an awesome crowd. Like I was sitting across from Rich Woodall and Joe Schmalke, and it was just just amazing people, and really filled my head with a lot of wisdom. And I just had some incredible moments. And one of the really awesome things that came out of this weekend was, Hugh and I had kind of an adventure to get down there, and we had so much work to do. We were lucky. We were blessed with commissions to do on Friday that set the pace for the weekend, which was basically amounted to Hugh hanging out in my room and drawing until 3 a.m. every night. So it was
very cool.
It was a pretty cool like hangout. We haven't had big drawing hangout sessions since back in the days when I used to go and hang out at the gazebo, invite my friends to come and join me in the gazebo in the public park here. They tore the gazebo down and rebuilt it 10% smaller, so you can't get a picnic table up there anymore. Yikes. But it's yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. Granite was fucking awesome. I can't wait to go back. That's my story.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. Like it was a lot of fun, like being around everybody, just like generally even being on here, like when you're around different artists helps keep you focused on creating and doing different stuff. And then when you're like literally, like Mike said, hanging out in somebody's room drawing until 3 a.m, like definitely a special feeling and definitely a big boost to keep going and keep motivated to keep doing this thing.
we got so much work done, man. It was something else. It was really kind of amazing. Yeah.
Casey, you were about to say something right before we jumped on the Granite. What was that?
Mostly expressing my envy, that's all, about Granite.
I'm
Yeah,
with
it's
you
definitely
there.
a cool
I was
show.
really bummed to miss it.
I've
this
been
year.
there before. I had to call them and cancel, and I almost cried. Oh, but it's okay. I'm getting
Next.
better. Things will be good. I'll be there next year. So,
And
Awesome.
in theory, I will
Likewise.
too. So we'll have the whole gang there. So
Well,
oh,
that-
nice.
Excellent.
yeah. So Nathan, so let's find out from everybody. That's a good question. Mike, what are you drawing tonight?
I am drawing Ileana Rasputin, also known as Magic, based off of a suggestion from one of our viewers. I'll be honest, I'm not a super big X-Men guy, and I'm only on this show because Stefan asked me to be, and Stefan's my pal, and I'd do anything for Stefan.
Aw.
That's why I'm here. I'd follow that man into hell itself. So,
We just wish he'd stop going to hell.
I was about to say that's bad information to give me. Yeah. I will abuse that at some point. Don't worry.
torso may be a bit too long, so I may have to just.
I think it's looking good.
Enlarging her backside somewhat. I'm not sure, but embiggen, if you will. But
Oh
yeah,
no! Don't do that.
Yeah.
yeah, people hate that. I know people hate that.
The
I know.
worst thing I've ever heard.
Hey, Mike. So A.M. Mora said Granite Con was fantastic and thanked you again for gifting them a sketchbook. And,
Oh, hey, man, Mike.
And he says,
Yeah,
Daniel, council assemble.
The Anderson.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on?
I'm
Anderson?
assuming you know what that means.
I do. Camping outside of a comic book store for way too many days and getting way too drunk. What that means.
Well, since I've got you on screen now, why don't you explain what you're doing tonight?
I'm doing the whole damn Brotherhood of Evil Mutants here. I am a huge X-Men fan, so I've been waiting for this night for a long time. So I'm excited.
Just to say, this night happened because your request. Yes, this was
True, because I was bummed out that I missed on another one.
Yeah. And so we had, I forget what this night originally was. We didn't have any people sign up for it. So I was like, yeah, fuck it.
We might have killed My Little Ponies. I don't even know. What did we kill?
I honestly don't remember. Once they were gone, I scratched them off so I don't feel the pain. I don't feel the pain anymore of my ideas being shat on by the artists.
Oh.
But X-Men have always been a huge fandom of mine, so I'm excited that villains in particular I've always loved.
Hey Nathan,
So
save the bad jokes for Tuesday, buddy, or Monday. KC, what do you got tonight?
All right. I've been trying to learn from last year and focus less on pictures, but a lot of background so I can get everything to you by Monday.
I like what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm.
But I've got an idea for a night crawler on a Westchester, New York street lamp because they got those cute, chintzy little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sketching a Colossus smashing a car. And I thought that was pretty cool. We'll see if we get to it.
All right. Colossus makes a guest appearance in Street Fighter 2.
Oh, does he now?
I don't know if he's smashing a car. I'm just guessing.
Well, it's there's a bank robber in it. You know how it is.
Oh, okay.
It's world domination or banks. That's your option, really.
Yeah, just make it a Lexus. That way we can say it's a crossover with Street Fighter 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, a Lexus with an off-brand emblem, not quite the full
Yeah,
L.
yeah.
I think it's reverse L or something. Oh, and Steve.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out and do the best villain of the entire X-Men universe.
The Blob?
Sometimes
Wow.
isn't just a villain, but Magneto. I mean, he's like the Malcolm X to Charles Xavier's MLK. So
He's a very complex character. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we love Magneto.
All the best bad guys are complex characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just I'm bad guy. Roar. All right, Matt. Brendan got my
All the
reference.
best food are complex carbs too.
All right, so Dan has to leave us for the night. Fortunately.
Dan.
Save those dad jokes for Monday, man. Ethan, sorry, Mega Red didn't make the cut. We were just not having it tonight, I guess.
Cool character though. Love that character.
Yeah.
We only had room for 4 artists. If we could have brought in,
so.
10, I'm sure we would have gotten Omega Red in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's cool. I think probably Sabretooth's my favorite X-Men character, but I draw him just about every time there's an X-Men thing that I'm doing, so I wanted to shake it a little bit. I always loved this character. I remember the Magic miniseries.
Oh yes,
just reading that over and over again, and then it came out in a nice little kind of collected edition, and yeah, it was cool. Just the idea of her journey and being a teenager 6,000 or 600 years in hell, in pandemonium or whatever it was, like the transformation. And I'm sure you X-Men guys know her story better than I do. I just love the like the art from that series and the story of her. Yeah, I almost drew Colossus body slamming I wanted to do like a ridiculous like Colossus body slamming the Blob. I thought that would be hilarious. Like that time Ricky Choshu, who's like 5 foot, body slammed Andre the Giant in Japan, and it's just so ridiculous. It was amazing. I wanted to do something like that, but this is kind of more fun, more my speed today.
Seems like Colossus was on everybody's radar because I almost did a fastball special with Colossus and Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he's one of the more lovable X-Men. I mean, he's a character you can't not like.
Yep. That was one of my favorite things about the Astonishing X-Men, that the reveal that Colossus was still alive. That scene where, I think it was oh man. Why did I just forget his name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Who wrote Astonishing X-Men. It was John Cassidy did the art, and it was that crazy Scottish genius who why can't I
Mark Miller?
No, not Mark Miller.
No, shit. You just, where we said Doom Patrol, I had it and then I lost it. Hang on.
Invisibles.
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison. Yeah, that's who I meant. The way he brought Colossus back into the fold was, I thought, pretty memorable scene.
I honestly don't remember. I'd have to look at that.
I think it was at the end of the first issue not the first issue, maybe like I can't remember. I had the first like 8 or 10 issues of that run. And there's a scene where Kitty's being chased, and people have thought Colossus has been dead all these years, and Kitty's being chased by a bunch of people, and she opens up this kind of closet and this kind of prison type door, like a mechanized door, and Colossus is in there, and she phases through him just as he goes solid steel and saves her from all the bullets that were chasing her. And it's just a cool scene. And they I think they kind of get back together, but it's awkward and weird because he's been dead and stuff. And yeah, anyway. And
he's still a good 12 years older than her.
Yeah,
it'll always be awkward and weird.
Well, they were just, like I remember they always kind of drew him looking older, but he was only about 17 in those things. But yeah, I know she was like 13, so yeah, but yeah, no good.
I think I just realized why I thought of Colossus. It wasn't just the Facebook chat. He and Nightcrawler both have the pointy red shoulder pad things. Like they're both wearing a big triangle on their torso. That's pretty much, yeah.
That was the cue for a good amount of the X-Men.
He was 70. Yeah.
Yeah, someone posted I forget who it was, but posted a picture of, and I forgot this was happening, and I wish I would have remembered, or not remembered that it's happening, but Nightcrawler being the uncanny Spider-Man.
I didn't know what that was all about.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. Like, I need to know the why behind it, I guess, to be able to say I'm okay with it.
Is this from the newer series?
Yeah, it's like just happening now, right? I think, or at least pretty recent.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with there was like a whole Sinister thing where Sinister was cloning a bunch of shit, and he made Nightcrawler into pretty much everything. It was like a Nightcrawler Wolverine, and it's just a few of them really caught on. And I remember that Nightcrawler Spider-Man really caught on because a lot of people wanted it, but most of us thought it was ridiculous.
Well,
So they just basically Gwenned Kurt.
Essentially.
Sounds like it.
Yikes.
And there was a few characters that they did that too, but it was Sinister was cloning the shit out of everybody. He did it to himself too. There was like 40 versions of Sinister for a while.
Wow, doing the Uncanny Spider-Man is probably the most evil thing he's done then so far. He is a true villain.
Yeah, it's part of the whole like Krakoa's story that's going on. I can't remember if it was part of the Sword of X series. I started falling out of it after the first like year and a half.
Gotcha.
Of this new series.
The
There's just
last
too many
X-Men
issues.
story I read all the way through was Age of Apocalypse, so I have no clue what's going on since.
That's quite some time. Yeah.
I collected X-Men, I think, from about issue 176 to about issue 240-ish. And I just kind of got through the Mutant Massacre in 1989, and then the X-Men were all dead, and then I just didn't care. And I started reading Wolverine when his series started up a year later, and that was, or that year, I guess, later that year when they did the whole Madripoor thing, and he had his own ongoing series. That's when I kind of got back into it, but I only touched back into X-Men here and there occasionally via Wolverine comics. I loved all that Mutant Massacre stuff. I loved all the Wolverine fights with Sabretooth and all that wicked shit. That was great. But by that point, I was so into like Lobo and all those kind of comics. I just couldn't really keep up with the X-Men. It kind of lost me after the Massacre, I guess. But
Yeah.
There's an example there if you can see that. Okay, that's him as Spider-Man X-23. It looks like
Rogue.
Domino.
Yeah. Oh, is that Domino? Okay,
No.
that was Rogue.
I think it's Domino. Yeah. Pyro. It's just did a whole thing. The story was called Sins of Sinister.
They really challenged themselves on that title, didn't they?
mm-hmm. I mean, what did you think? They were going to try hard or something?
Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, I should have known better. How dare I have hope?
so we're only 2 hours now, right? These shows?
Yes.
That was the thing we changed up? Yeah.
Yeah. That means I gotta drink heavier sooner.
This is probably just gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was only going to mock you. Please continue.
Oh no, please mock. I have been way too high on my horse lately. Someone needs to bring me down a notch. I took a beating on my lettering skills earlier this week, so I've recovered since then. But I'm ready to go for more abuse.
Yeah, Erica really gave it to you.
Oh, so did Michael. I was like, God damn, guys, I'm making a quick joke, and you guys are hitting me for the real shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, designers will like when you actually see their physical body change when they witness bad kerning or bad leading, and they go, yeah, and you just see this thing happen to them. It's kind of amazing to observe.
Oh, I mean, I'm part of that too. Like when I see poor grammar use or bad, especially typography is an issue for me. But I was doing that on a fucking Post-it with a Sharpie and no tools. I mean,
Oh, no, you get a pass. It's all good.
I thought I was going to. I sure did not. Yeah, but my internet behavior did come back to haunt me. So is that border tape on your piece there, Casey, or is that actually a border?
It's border tape because eventually, once I've got this in a way that I like, I'll go in with pen, and then I'm gonna. People seem to like the watercolor, so I'll keep going in with that.
Good.
But I like having the clean white edge.
Mhm.
And if I'm fast enough, or if I get a clip of it later that I can post to the Things Are Getting Sketchy page, that peel. Oh, the peel at the end. It's the most satisfying thing in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime I've painted a room, that's like one of my favorite things to do at the end is pull the painter's tape off, or yeah, especially use it to make any type of design on the wall, and it comes off clean. Oh yeah, that's satisfying because it's like, yep, did it right. Juggernaut's looking tight. And I have to admit, personally, that's, even though he's pretty basic, that's probably my favorite X-Men villain, is Juggernaut.
Yeah, he's one of mine, and I don't know why. To be honest, he's just always been such a. His stories are phenomenal. It's they're simple, but
I have two stories that make it for me. The one where he just fucking manhandles the Hulk when Hulk was, yeah, during the Peter David run, so he wasn't like the typical strong Hulk, and he just got owned by Juggernaut because he was in his own head. And then the other one was, I forget the X-Men story, but Peter was actually all pouty because Kitty Pryde broke up with him. And Logan pretty much got tired of his shit, so he took him out to a bar where he knew the Juggernaut hangs out.
yeah, that's a great one. Yeah,
Yeah, but he starts a fight between the two just to get him out of his funk.
yeah, just to get him going. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that might have been a Nimrod issue, but I can't remember. But I just remember the bar fight and Logan just starting the bar fight just to get Peter out of his dumb funk. And they're like, such a good story. This pouty little emo boy.
I think the first time I saw Juggernaut would have been probably if he appeared in the old Spidey cartoon, it was there, but I don't think he did. He appeared in the Spidey and His Amazing Friends, 1982, 1981. And I remember seeing Wolverine for the first time. Not the first time there, but I remember seeing him and being like instant recall to the Hulk comic that I had just seen him in. And I remember Juggernaut when I was a kid. I used to think he was called Jugganuck, and everyone kind of made fun
like
of
a
me.
super
Like
Canadian.
so, but
Juggernaut.
yeah, Jugganuck, because that's anyway.
That's a thing that anybody can be.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see here.
Wolverine with an Australian accent. That's what Nathan was saying. Did he have the Australian accent in the Spider-Man, or is that just the pilot?
No, he had the Australian accent, and they also gave him an Australian accent in the X-Men cartoon that followed in like '89 briefly.
Yeah, that's the pride of
And then there was no. Well, sorry, not that one. I mean, there was another one. There was like a short 6-part X-Men cartoon that some of you may remember that came out before the actual X-Men cartoon that became the famous X-Men cartoon, and it was and he had an Australian accent in that. And then yeah, it was a really weird little mini. I remember watching it and thinking it was kind of weird. The style of it was really different, and they had an Australian accent. And then they got the guy who to me was like kind of the definitive from the very famous cartoon. Yeah.
Nope, Randy just popped in. Hey, Randy.
I wanted to do something to kind of loosen up with this piece today because I had a couple of pieces left over from the Ottawa Comic Con that I didn't get to, and then planning for Granite kind of ate into my time after that show, so I wasn't able to get the piece done. But I had to take 4 tries to do this one Red Lantern Atrocitus piece. And he's a tricky character, man. There was just something I couldn't nail. And he was kind of a big character, too. Kind of hard to fit him on the page the way I want him to. So 4 tries. I was, like, shocked. I'm like, wow. I must be tired.
Is he the big monstrosity guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
like an evil-looking Kilowog, but ugly.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
He's the one with the cat, right?
Oh yeah, I think there's a cat. Yeah.
Well, Dexter is part of the Red Lanterns. I don't think it's actually like his, because his he got the ring because his owner died, and you know, he got very angry about his owner dying.
I see.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
I bet it is.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I mean, it's actually kind of sad. It's like almost, it's not quite as sad as like Neil Gaiman's cat story, but it's pretty sad. It makes me feel bad because, like, you know, first off, I mean, you can tell it's fiction because a cat's actually loyal to its owner. Like, I would buy it more if it was a dog, but you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure the cat was more. Well, no, the dog would be sad. The cat would be angry because now his vending machine has died. Yeah, no one's going to dispense food for him. So yes, a cat would get angry. He's
going to give him like treats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, cats are everything.
Oh, so it becomes his cat, I guess, because like, all right, yeah. So Randy's saying no, it is his cat because he lives in an issue and says you kicked my cat. So, so I guess he becomes his cat, yeah. But I know the origin was it was a cat belonging to somebody, and that person passed.
I see. That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even the Red Lanterns weren't like really villains. They were just kind of
angry.
Just angry. Yeah.
Yeah. Pissed off. Yeah. I think I would probably be a Red Lantern. I don't know. I spent a lot of time pissed off.
Oh, I know straight up I'd be an Orange Lantern.
You'd be a what?
Oh?
The Orange Lantern.
Oh, really?
Oh,
what was their gimmick again? Greed or something?
Selfish, greed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm self-aware enough to know how selfish I am. So. Yeah, their whole what do you call it? Not the pledge, but their oath or whatever they say when they charge up the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, the Orange Lanterns is just mine.
I never read any of that stuff, man. I really just kind of jumped off the DC train when New 52 came along, and I never really looked back without any, just got to grab the odd Swamp Thing story or whatever that came out, but that was about it, But yeah, there's a lot of cool Lantern stuff I'm totally unaware of.
Yeah, I mean, I was very late to that story because but I ended up getting all the trades for that one because I was actually kind of annoyed at first that they were just all of a sudden dropping all these rings and trying to make it like, oh no, they've always been here, and I'm like, no, just say that. That's like, yeah, just say they're new. You don't have to retcon every fucking story you want to bring into the universe.
Well, that was like Marvel's thing with Sentry, like Oh
yeah.
Oh, but that was a deliberate prank, though.
Yes, you're right, because they were.
That was like with the Sentry. It was a deliberate style choice, and it became part of the plot that nobody remembered the Sentry.
It just sucked though, and it was the worst of all the Shazam derivatives that have ever been, and it was just it was so lame how they wrote it into the story. Like they're fighting some terrible, awful thing, and Spider-Man says to Cap something like, "This looks really bad, Cap. Should we call Sentry?" And I think I whipped that comic book like far away. Like I think I probably set it on fire. Oh, you got the Fantastic Four, you've got the Surfer, you've got Thor, you've got the Sentry is such a. Listen, I know he's got fans. I'm not one.
No, he was a one-shot hero. It wasn't like a big thing that they retconned to change the whole universe. It was a one-shot hero story about a guy who literally the side effect and culmination of his power was he had been forgotten before and he had to be forgotten again. Did you not actually read the book? Did you
I
just
read enough
say?
of it to know that I just hated it. I didn't buy the actual book because
So
the character
you
annoyed
didn't
me
read
from the
the
start.
end of it, is what you're. So you're like somebody who says, "I hate Fight Club. It was such a simple movie. Who wants to just watch a bunch of guys punching each other?"
Are you serious right now, Casey? I'm just wondering
No,
if you're
I'm saying
serious
you
right
didn't get to the end. You didn't read the end of the century, so
I
that's
saw
why
the
you don't
part
think
where
it's any good.
I saw the part where he got killed, and that was the day I celebrated the death of that terrible character. But that was I saw him tear Ares in half.
All,
I saw him
all
do
I'm
things that Thor should have done, and I thought the character was weak, and I think the story is terrible. So that
That's
was,
fair.
yeah.
All I'm saying is I agree that they did a bunch of stuff with him that they could have used other characters for, but that was because they wanted to do something that had a beginning, a middle, and an end,
That's
right?
fine, but
And it's not like he's coming back or anything that I'm aware of.
oh, he is coming
Um,
back. Oh yeah,
well,
he
then
is.
that sucks.
Oh,
That
they
I do
always
Jay-
come
disagree
back.
with.
Jason Liu is.
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited for Jason Liu. Jason Lowe. My apologies, Jason. Jason Lowe is drawing. He's drawing, I believe, in drawing and writing the Century book, or he's writing it anyway. I know because he's super jacked about it because he's one of those dudes that loves that character. You know, more power to you. I just personally, I just think he's a dreadfully weak and sad kind of fill-in character. And of all the Superman and Shazam derivatives out there, he scores highest on the shit pile for me. That's all.
That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I like stories that play with the idea of what people know and the nature of reality. Really, like, I love those a lot because that's something that scares me. Like, it's terrifying to me to think that the whole world might be different than you realized, and then you wake up one day and realize that you were wrong or insane the whole time.
Mm.
And a hero that, you know, destroyed, destroy the universe or cease to have existed ever, no one will remember you. That's creepy to me. That gets me. So I agree that they could have used him better, and I wish that they had just let him sit, though, because as a beginning, middle, and an end story, I thought it was cool.
Well,
Um,
I'll be honest. Then I'll defer to your knowledge on the character. I didn't read the whole story because to me, I just finished, reading and collecting the Miracle Man series, which is like, so to me, a superior version of that kind of Shazam thing because of how that story was handled, and it was handled by the guy with amnesia who comes back and realizes he has these omnipotent powers and how he deals with it in 1982 Thatcher UK. Like it was.
oh yeah, no,
It,
that story is pretty traumatic. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
really,
a it's
really hate him discovering, like, ugh, yeah.
yeah.
But and I also want to defend my honor. I know Fight Club, okay? But I actually did work with an insufferable person who had seen Fight Club twice and walked out before the end both times.
Uh,
And so they insisted that it was a dumb, predictable movie, and they thought it was just a hit because people liked looking at Brad Pitt.
Hey, two
Wow.
things can be true at the same time.
Two
but-
things can be true at the same time. I actually really liked Fight Club. I don't
And-
think I got it the first time I saw it, but
And a lot of people liked looking at Brad Pitt in that movie too. So
yeah.
it's
So
a two.
true.
It's a twofer. Although he was kind of a little too dirt bagged up for me in that one. Although he was the right amount of dirt bag in Snatch. I don't get it, but
Yeah, Stefan likes his men clean and prettied up.
No, because I liked him as a dirt bag in Snatch.
Oh, he's amazing in Snatch.
He was a perfect level of dirt bag in Snatch.
There was dogs involved though.
This is true.
Hey, sorry, I've been fighting a kraken in my kitchen sink for 24 hours, so I might be a little testy about stuff I hate. So
No, that's fine. Listen, this isn't just a streaming show; it's a listen to nerds argue show, is my understanding.
Yeah.
So-
Let's get controversial. Throw some sea monkeys in that sink. Let's see what happens. Randy put, no one should remember Sentry. His only good story is when the Hulks beat the brakes off him, and only ended because Sentry became unstable and both reverted.
Well, and that's the thing. Like Sentry was instrumental in the birth of the Red Hulk too, which is so fucking aggravating. But then that character's so aggravating too. The Red Hulk, I'll throw him in the same bin, in the same damn bin as Sentry. They can all be blended in the great comic book blender in the sky. So
yeah, that's a tough one. Who would I think I would actually have to put Red Hulk just under him because of just the absolute bullshit red herring they did throughout the storyline.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Even if Red Hulk turned out to be an amazing, completely brilliant character, the way they revealed his true identity was just, it was such an insult after making after sucking $4 out of your pocket every month for a year. They finally revealed it, and it was total garbage. Like, it was such maddening garbage.
Oh my God! Tell us how you really feel, though.
Ugh. Well, these guys have, every viewer of Tags, I'm sure. if
Oh,
they're watching,
they know the history.
they've all suffered they've all suffered through that story. So
Yeah, we may have to have you just come on next week, just
to retell it.
as a guest, just so you can rail against the Red Hulk if anybody's drawn the Red Hulk. Which, by the way, for people watching, next week's show is actually the Hulk universe, so we'll be doing Hulk.
I really hope somebody draws Immortal Hulk.
yes,
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
yes, yeah, all that awesome body horror stuff was super cool.
But I want someone else to do a Doc Samson too. So.
I would not be opposed to doing a Doc Samson. I enjoy.
All right, I'll get you on the show then.
That's like somebody canceled now.
Yeah, let me see who I can punt real quick.
I might do a draw along at home in that case. But I know there's a particular collector of the Hulk who I know is who'll be watching that show and will be in. I think he actually suggested the show, so I think it's going to be a special time for him, Mr. Pena.
Yeah, suggested or whined, one of the two. It was
The man did.
Yeah.
There's a term.
Tried to pull the Big Willie style, be like, I want the Hulk show, damn it.
Yeah, threatened, cajoled. There's a lot of ways we can describe what he was doing.
He supported Dodge, and he wants me to do either a Red Hulk or a Mr. Fix-It. I mean, that's an easy choice for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not even a choice. That's I think that's the truly.
You have Mr. Fix-It destroying Red Hulk.
It's the truly infuriating thing about the Red Hulk is that he's fucking awesome fun to draw, I hate the character, but he's so satisfying to draw. He's easier to draw than the Hulk in a weird kind of way. And I don't know why, but he is. And I know even if you're just working in black and white drawing of the Red Hulk is still the Red Hulk. And, it's, man, there's something sinister and cool about that version of him. So I like drawing him. I just hate the character. I'm very conflicted.
Do you watch Adventure Brothers, right?
I haven't, to be honest.
So
you're today's lucky 10,000. You're going to love this show. You got to watch it.
Yeah, but they do a great shot at the Red Hulk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a recurring character, General Traister, and it's just this like over-the-top USA with this kind it's hard to pin his accent. It's a bit Southern, but not quite. But, but very very folksy, like all his idioms, But then,
the accent to me is ask a European what an American sounds like. That's what the accent sounds like to me.
Yeah. And he's got the PP cancer, so he launches himself into space to get the aliens to fix him, and he's got like a note pinned to him that says "Cure my cancer," and then of course he comes back as the Red Hulk. But they kept the mustache, and they specifically focus in on his first transformation, so you can see his mustache like get bigger.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Ugh, man. Yeah, I'll be honest. That was one of the last things holding me to Marvel as a collector was that Hulk stuff from that era. And I mean, yeah, it was really upsetting as a guy who's been reading the Hulk since he could read. It was a real big turn of events, and I don't know. I thought they gave Thunderbolt Ross a great death when they turned him into Zax back in like 87 or 88 or whatever it was. That was good shit. But yeah, they brought him back in such a lame way. They brought him back without any explanation. It's just he's back and deal with it, Marvel. Like that was it.
Yeah, in true Marvel.
Exactly how he would say it too.
Pretty much, yeah.
Who was the original art? Was Ed McGuinness the original artist on Red Hulk, or was it? No.
Sorry, say again.
Who was the original artist on when they brought the Red Hulk? Was it McGuinness or was it?
I thought it was Ed McGuinness. Yeah.
Yeah, Because I mean, that's the style I can only see when I see the character. But I wasn't sure if he was just the original one or just the one that made the most impression on me.
I think actually the series, like the war, the was it World War Hulk, where that all went down. I believe that was Romita Jr. who drew that series. So he may have been the first guy to draw the Red Hulk, but in the Hulk comics, it was Ed McGuinness, and it was epic.
Okay.
I think I've made this lady a bit too brawny, but that's okay. She can be brawny. Spent time in hell, man.
Oh yeah. She
Can't be fun.
She's muscular. And she's no longer the preteen she was when she first showed up.
You know? Yeah, no, for sure. She's finally aged her. Took their sweet time. But,
he's become such an amazing character.
Oh, for sure, man. I love the different designs too. I didn't really kind of specifically reference anything in particular for this. I just kind of took some cues here and there, and we'll see how it turns out. I'm not going to color this piece. I'm just going to do it in black and white. But yeah, she's fun to draw. She's always fun to draw.
You gonna throw Lockheed in there?
Yeah, I mean,
Kitty Pryde. I mean,
more of a Kitty Pryde thing, no?
Well, I thought. Well, I mean, it came with her. I mean, Kitty Pryde ended up, adopting it. But
that's true. Yeah.
That's
funny. I don't think I ever really didn't. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Forgive my ignorance. That's
I
the
always-
purple dinosaur, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the perfect
dragon.
Yeah.
The most adorable dragon there is.
Yep.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But yeah,
One
but
of
it
the
came out of limbo with her, and then when she just kept popping in and out, it just hung out with Kitty Pryde, and of course became more because Kitty Pryde was a regular in the series and Magic wasn't.
Right.
So, and everyone was absolutely in love with the little purple flying dragon. So yeah,
he's one of the only little mascot characters that I've ever really given a pass because he's just very cool, and the way Alan Davis drew him just made him look so awesome. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I liked him because he reminded me of the. I don't know if you ever read the novel series, the Myth series from Robert Asprin.
No, I haven't.
It's very fun.
Oh,
the guy,
was that the one?
Go on.
The people who went into the oh gosh, I think we might have those books upstairs. They went into a different fictional world, and bodies transformed when they were there because the universe was sucking them in, kind of.
No, I mean it's a fantasy realm with a magic user who is not really great at being a magic user, but he's getting there, and he's got it. He accidentally with his he was apprenticing, and they summoned a demon, and his mentor died during the summoning, and the demon was stuck in his realm, and the demon is just a demon. Because he's from a different dimension. That's why he's a demon. And so he's just a dude who happens to have scale armor, but now he's stuck on this realm with this mage. So they kind of everything is a little punny, but they have a dragon with them at one point. And whenever you get a chapter that's from the dragon's point of view, but he's a young dragon, so he can't talk, but you get his intellect as he has these conversations. And at one point, he's up against these bandits, and he's like, well, definitely a level 3 fire would have taken care of him, so I decided to dial it to 9. And it's just a very fun character. It always reminded me of Lockheed. It was just this little guy who could just deal so much damage, and everyone underestimated him.
I love how they used Lockheed in the new Marauder series. They have him partnered with Pyro a bunch of the time. Where Pyro can't create fire, Lockheed is the one creating the fire for him.
Oh, that's
badass.
I would say that's perfect. Yeah.
Kitty Pryde's a beast in that series too. Freaking phasing weapons through people's legs and just going all out.
Is that the new book? I saw what she did.
Where she's like a pirate, or she takes over she becomes the leader of the Marauders. But
she just
runs a pirate ship with Storm, Pyro, Bishop.
Oh,
No,
cool.
I'm talking about like the latest X-Men book, like a couple weeks ago, where she just goes absolute beast on the security guys. And like,
Oh, I haven't read the new.
oh yeah, she goes like she might as well put on the devil mask from the miniseries. She's that straight up killer in this. Like she's phasing bullets into people's brains and shit.
Yeah, she's a beast,
yeah, she
man.
is not.
She is
fucking
not
around.
messing around. She's drunk half the time. Yeah, it's.
I always wondered whatever happened to that version of Kitty Pryde from the Wolverine Kitty Pryde series, where she was.
Yeah, she's back.
learning all that.
Yeah. I said she might as well wear the devil mask at this point. She is full on assassin mode. Yeah, it's pretty baller. Yeah, like going as evil as she, or brutal as she can be. Not to say evil, but she's doing it to the evil people.
She's mostly just spiteful. Like she hates the world now.
Yeah.
In the new series, like she's one of the only mutants that can't naturally enter Krakoa. It doesn't register her body as a mutant or something like that because of her powers. So that's the reason she ends up taking the ship, because that's the only way she can get on and off the island is to actually go by boat. So she runs I forget what the vessel's called, but
yeah, but
Marauder's main ship.
They need to explain that better why she can't get, because that was pretty much a pretty weak explanation.
It was a weak explanation.
Yeah, it's not as weak as Miss Marvel all of a sudden being a mutant, but it's pretty dumb.
So am I misunderstanding that it was interpreting her powers as being magical rather than mutant, or because from what you're describing, it sounds to me like they've basically just got like a magic user alert.
No, I think it was more of the fact that her power is phasing, that it just doesn't recognize. I don't think they made it sound like she wasn't a mutant at all.
It just yeah.
Yeah, they really messed a lot of that stuff up, eh?
Well,
they're pretty
they
fucked
drugged
up
that
in the
story
series to people who aren't mutants. At this point, the X-Men are definitely the racist ones.
Interesting turn of events.
Well, they've all become to rationalize Magneto's old school thoughts.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, they are the homo superior and should be on top, and everybody else should be in service of them. It's not.
He made some good points, but
Well, the biggest thing is they have their own nation now, and they're not asking for acceptance anymore. They're just demanding it. You can accept it, or we will annihilate you. Just don't cross us. We won't. We will take any mutant that you have captive. We will free unless you release them and essentially, force themselves on the Earth.
Definitely not the X-Men I grew up with.
No, it's a wild little story now. One I haven't read, but I really want to, is the new, and it's probably like 5 years old, but X-Men Red, with Storm like running the evil mutants. She is now like the leader of the Brotherhood on Mars.
Oh, how
like
cool.
they've sent like the worst of the worst mutants to be exiled on Mars. But she looks like a badass in that. I think it's like her, Omega Ray, Sabretooth. It's a pretty vicious lineup.
Yeah, but it never made sense putting her on Mars, though. No atmosphere.
Well, is she a warden or is she a prisoner? I haven't kept up on
More of a
this.
warden than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she might have done something like to deserve it. She might have just like gone off the deep end, and who knows.
If she's a prisoner, then it would make sense to put her on Mars, because on Mars, you can't really affect the weather the same way, I would expect.
Well, there's no atmosphere. Yeah, there's nothing to.
Yeah.
Put her on Jupiter. She's a fucking god, but.
She's already a god.
Michael Dunk. I think I need a little context. He posted. Okay, so let me see it. I'm gonna go back here.
Jump out for just a second, guys.
It's amazing saying, and they just wiped it all out again. That's why Nightcrawler's in the Spidey suit. Mutants are the EMT again. I'm not sure. Enemy, I guess, maybe? I don't know. The nation is gone. Jean Grey is dead again. Oh, Jesus.
Is that like 36?
Yeah, and honestly, no one ever dies. Oh, okay. So Michael Duncan said, just a proud owner of the Shocker. And I said, I need context, but he said, ask KC.
Oh my God. Hi, how you doing?
It's still his only original art.
Oh, I can't tell if I'm honored or appalled.
Yeah, like was the piece that bad that he won't collect original art anymore? Is that what? No.
Shocker, the Spidey villain?
No, Michael Duncan saying that. Oh yeah.
Okay, so a couple. I don't know if should I tell this story. I don't know who's in chat. I don't have my phone up for Facebook.
Well, Michael Duncan's in chat and Nathan Duncan, so not related. Randy.
Okay, so what I'll do is I don't know. I probably not. Probably he wouldn't be embarrassed, but let's just be kind.
Is this the Wes Craven superhero or horror movie? I mean,
no.
Okay.
So a couple of Granite States ago.
Wait, what's going on here? No, yes, no, yes. Tell the story.
All right. So a couple of Granite States ago, there was, as there often is, late night drinking in the hotel lobby, and people are talking and hanging out, and everything's fine and everything's fun. And we are together surprised to discover that a fully grown man who likes, schoolyard locker room kind of humor has never encountered the concept of the shocker, the hand gesture.
Oh, I got to follow up on this. Yep.
Yeah. And so the thing that made it so funny is, first of all, there's like 3 very drunk, laughing people trying to explain it to him. And then he's asking these little follow-up questions, and he has this look on his face like I cannot begin to tell you the delight. It was like, imagine you're a kid, right? And you open up your Christmas present, and it's like the new video game system and 2 different games and a puppy. Yes. This is so I made a instructional diagram to commemorate the evening and to make sure that nobody forgot.
That is fantastic. That is a much better story than my convention shocker story, because mine got me banned from Image.
Oh.
Yeah. I will.
Is that a story you can tell?
Yes, but let me change the names to protect the innocent. So, we'll call the person Lyric Arson. He was standing in a group of people with me, a couple of the writers. At the time, I was publishing a couple books at Image, and we were talking, and I had a stupid T-shirt that I always wear to conventions, just dumb shirts. Well, one of them I actually had, the shocker hand gesture with a lightning bolt through it, and I would just tell people it's my superhero shirt. And the people who got it, the people who didn't, and that was fine. He didn't get it, and he kept drilling, and I'm like, "Are you serious, man?" And he kept asking, "What?" And I'm like, "I mean, sure." So I went ahead and explained it to him, in the best way that I could after having several drinks. So, I made it as jokey as possible, and everybody in the group was laughing except him. So I'm guessing he took great offense to it. Shortly thereafter, my books were canceled, and I never got to publish anything ever again. Everything I ever put through was denied. Yep. And to the point where he will occasionally troll me online, which are the greatest moments. Oh, yeah. I think the last time I sent it to Mike, I went, look, he's still around. And I forget what he was trolling me for at that time. But, yep, he'll occasionally come out, and I'll surface in his feed. And we're not friends, but somehow he'll see my feed. and yeah, he'll have to chime in and say something shitty.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I don't care.
it's an interesting business we're in.
Yeah.
It's fragile and very, very delicate. Unfortunately.
Randy, we're not talking about Eric Larson. I said we're talking about Eric Larson. Jeez, don't be attacking other people. Oh, we lost Steve. Shit. I guess he left in solidarity with Eric. He's like, Steven attacked Eric. I'm out of here. One second, I see where he went. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Camilo on here soon. I'm gonna have words with him. He
About?
Oh, he's throwing some shade at the United States, talking about keeping the granite belt out of the states.
The Commonwealth, man, you got to keep it in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, but at the same time, trying to soften the blow by saying the Tags family. I'm like, wait a second, buddy, talking shit about the states.
It's a very classy post. I thought it was honest and classy. He expressed his true feelings. And he included us in his. He called us family. That's a real thing.
I know, but he still took that shot. Said, all right, we're gonna have to have that. I'm gonna have to flood him with all the Homer Simpson USA memes I can while he's on next time. Oh yeah, Steve's tablet just crapped out, so hopefully he'll come back here in a second. Yeah, he got the blue screen of death.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, hopefully it's not permanent.
No.
Leaks.
I gotta take my temperature down. Whew.
Yeah, Randy's saying Canada, Australia, potato. Michael is saying he wish he could showcase it's a great watercolor. Yeah, you may have to.
Tell you what.
You may have to scan that and put it on the tags page. We all may need to see this diagram for educational purposes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Are you talking about the chakra diagram?
Yes. Wait, you've seen it?
Yes.
Great.
Remember,
this is how people know me. Fantastic. Did you at least like it?
Yes. Remember, I was there for the original chakra story.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the night of the great Ben Bishop prank as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The great what?
Ben Bishop prank.
Oh yeah.
I think it was 2020 or 2019. Can't remember, one of those years. I had an old IDW badge from the IDW Games days.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave it to Casey's
My sister.
Sister?
Yeah.
And she pretended to be a rep from IDW that was shutting down Ben's booth.
Oh shit!
For various reasons. And he was it was good. He was doing everything he could to stay PG and to stay professional.
I could see him
great.
from across the aisle. He was
tried
shaking.
so hard. Yeah.
I felt pretty bad in that exact moment, but then it was great. So.
But give it up for your sister for not breaking kayfabe. She went all the way in.
That was great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, she works in events. She is very, very good at being super, super official. So let me see.
But while you're doing that, I'm gonna see what Steve's and I'm gonna fill up my drink real quick. Right back.
I am now regretting the sheer scale of this thing. Hey, there we go.
There he is. Yeah, looking good, man. That looks crazy.
Okay. Why am I
We
working
found
so
Steven.
hard on finding this picture?
So Roberto's saying that they had a drinking game at, I'm assuming, Emerald City Comic Con, ECCC, where you take a shot whenever you saw a Harley Quinn cosplay or a dude's gut hanging out of his shirt.
What if it was a dude as Harley Quinn with a gut?
You gotta, well, if the gut is sticking out of the Harley Quinn
It's
costume,
like
yeah, you still have to qualify. Yeah,
That's
that's a twofer right there. Yeah, and Brenda is saying that yeah, you would die from alcohol poisoning. Yeah, Roberto, double shot. Yep. Yeah, that's a deadly game to play.
dangerous.
Found it.
The only thing that would be worse if you actually did Deadpools. Jesus
God.
Christ.
You'd have to get the ambulance.
Yeah, and a double shot if it's a Deadpool that's not funny.
You know, you make a good point, man. I don't know if I saw any there either. I saw some pretty cool cosplay though. There was an awful lot of it on the Saturday, but
That it's
Hey,
for
excuse me.
being a smaller con. There is
Oh
actually some
God,
really
Peter
impressive-
Laird was at Granite State. Why did I go to
Yeah.
Facebook?
Did you not
Oh,
see,
yeah,
not
we were
see
trying
that?
I had to cancel.
We were
I
trying
couldn't
not
go.
to tell you.
no one knew he was going to be there until Sunday morning. So
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
But he's planning on coming again next year, so just plan
I
on
hope
coming
yes,
next
so.
year.
yes, he is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Allegedly, yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, cool.
it's the 40th anniversary, man.
Based off
Yeah.
his own comments on Facebook.
Okay. I'm trying to post this on tags because I'm letting the ink dry anyway, so that's probably for the best. There we go.
Benny, when you're asking about Tag Night at Super Sports Sunday, are you trying to say like Kickers Inc. or something? I'm not, although
What?
Marvel's new universe would be kind of fun. Get
Oh man, Marvel's New Universe was awesome.
yeah.
There was awesome stuff in there, man. That's one of the biggest tragedies. Marvel.
I mean, come on, Jim Shooter, yeah.
Fuck. God, it was good.
Yep. I was all in on, except for a Kicker. Was Kickers Inc. new? I think it was New Universe, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
Kickers
so.
butt.
Yeah. That was the only dog shit. But I mean, they had to get the money, to kind of help keep everything else afloat. But
Oh sure, yeah.
yeah, but DP7, fucking
DP7 was my book of those ones. I love that.
Justice
I
and
read-
DP7 were mine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I got the first 5 issues of Star Brand, and I think I got the first 5 issues of just about everything. But DP7 just like that ruled, man. God, that book ruled. Holy
Yep.
shit, it was awesome. Marvel has a couple of unsung heroes. Like I don't know if you guys ever remember Strike Force Morituri,
Yes.
which came out right before New Universe, and it was a really unique concept, which has since been stolen and numerous times. But at the time, it was no one had done it before. It was pretty cool. Yeah, awesome book.
What was the I'm trying to remember the one. It was kind of like the. Boy, I want to say it was kind of like a Sandman knockoff, like Nightmare or something.
Yeah. Shit.
I remember that one I was kind of into as well, but like Justice DP7 were the best.
Night Mask, I think it was called.
Night Mask, yeah, I think that's
Night
right.
Mask, yeah. So many art gods of today were just little baby art gods then, you know, and incredible work that came out of that run. Just trying out new people and you know, of course, everyone at Marvel got to have a little taste too. Like, I know Jeff Isherwood from Canada here; he got to work on some stuff, and they just had amazing art. The guy who did Astro City, why can't I think of his name right now? I believe he worked on that. He also drew most of the issues of Strike Force Mortuary, which is not it's not a new universe, but it came out around the same time and actually would have fit perfectly in that universe had they added it. But
oh shit! I forgot about Merc. Just straight up batshit crazy Punisher ripoff.
Just yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
The Pocket era.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, he was basically like if Nuke from Daredevil actually got his own series.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah, I'm looking at the cover of issue 2 where he's kneeling on the pitcher's mound of like a little league game, just unleashing with a saw, and the kids are like running away, and the one kid's looking back. But yeah, just oh my god, how batshit crazy! So. Yeah, I may have to check eBay, see if anybody's got those for cheap. Yeah, Night Mask. I found it. There it is. Yep, it is Night Mask. Like
Great stuff. They brought back Starbrand. I know they have it. They've actually kind of tried to bring that back in numerous ways. They've had the Starbrand show up in other comics and things, but I haven't read them. I've just been here.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of the Starbrand and the new Avengers comics and everything. And then
is that right?
They did that Avengers Through Time where like Thanos and a couple other people, or no, it was Doctor Doom. I'm sorry, went back through time trying to kill like Avengers Prime and stuff, and Starbrand was all through that as
cool.
like a baby and stuff. So one of the few Marvel titles I actually read still is Avengers. So
right on. Yeah, I heard Avengers has been fantastic.
even with Conan.
Yeah,
Conan's on the Savage Avengers, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, my mistake.
Not anymore.
So it's completely different, but the same.
Not anymore, anyway. They don't have the license anymore. But yeah, that was a moment. Shout out to Mark, who thought it was cool, but is wrong.
I won't read Avengers until they bring back West Coast.
Yeah. Those were the days, my friend.
That's all right. I love my second and third stringers.
The B team.
Hell yeah. But the B team was awesome.
Okay, what's the Midwestern heroes? I love those guys.
The Great Lake Avengers?
Yeah. Okay, but the Great Lakes Avengers were awesome. Just because, like, yes, bad stuff happens in fucking nowhere also.
Well, I thought they were fun because they were unsanctioned. They just, okay, we'll just call ourselves the Avengers.
Yeah. It was just John Byrne being a douchebag, really.
It really was.
Like, he took pot shots at all kinds of different people, and there's a character called Big Bertha. Like, come on, man. Like nothing. I mean, it's just such a. At the time, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't feel like a flattering.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't flattering.
But all the characters were basically the circus freaks.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's what he was doing. He just took, circus freaks from the 20s and, decided to make a dumb Midwest team. So, like you said, he could take petty pot shots at, whomever at Marvel he wanted to.
Well, that man knows how to take a pot shot. I love him, and he knows how to take a pot shot. That's for sure. He makes it, man. Yeah, no bones about it. I mean, yeah. it's hard to. I love the guy's work too much to really, I accept that he's a guy of a certain age, a white guy of a certain age. Let's just put it that way. But
Yeah.
I always love his work. Very instrumental. He wrote and illustrated a lot of the Marvel 2-in-1 series and a lot of the Thing, series where he's a pro wrestler, which is my favorite comic. And yeah, just a very cool character, a very cool writer and artist. But very strange and not the friend of the internet.
No, he should definitely stay off the internet. Yes.
I was afraid to meet him. He's like one dude that I was afraid to meet. I've heard horrible stories of him being really cruel to young artists and stuff, and I know they're true. And I've heard them from the artists who've now grown up and become actual comic book artists. And there's all kinds of stories that are wild. I know one guy. I won't say who he is, but I know one guy who many years ago there was a show. I believe it was in Toronto. Very small Comic-Cons back in those days. Back in those days, it was just a room in a conference room in a hotel with a bunch of dusty boxes of comics and old guys talking about nerdy stuff. That's what Comic-Cons were then. And I remember he was saying that he was like very eager 14, 15-year-old dude with a portfolio and really took his comic stuff seriously and brought it to Byrne, and Byrne just basically tore him apart and like just broke his heart, like literally destroyed him. And this guy's a very, very big success in comics now. And it's one of those things where shit comes back sometimes. But he says he was a kid, he was crestfallen. He actually turned on him and like kind of like mouthed off back to him after he got his feedback. And Chris Claremont was there, and Claremont actually took the lad aside and comfort him, and basically, that guy's kind of an asshole, but they were the two guests at this Comic-Con, John Byrne and Chris Claremont. So yeah, crazy.
Well, for those who haven't noticed, Casey has posted the art on the Things Are Getting Sketchy page, or group page, and it is a thing of beauty. Very well done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Shocker thing?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, very cool. I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, it's...
I
Yeah, it made for a very, very fun night.
Oh yeah, I mean it's diagrammed beautifully. It's laid out in a way that feels like it's something you would see in like a Grey's Anatomy book almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's well done. Yeah,
it's got dog Latin and everything.
It does, yeah. Yeah, Michael's saying he's so proud, and he should be.
Wait, does Michael own it?
Yeah, I got. Yeah, you gave it to Michael, right? Is that what?
Yeah, well, we were talking about it in the chat, and he just leapt for the opportunity, and I thought, what is happening?
There it is. Dude, get off the desk.
There's the kitty.
Oh, yeah.
First cat cam of the night.
I gave you fair warning. I told you you'd probably do it.
Oh, and we were happy he did. Yeah, just wish he would have stayed a little longer. Bye, kitty.
Oh, he's still on the desk. He's just defiantly staring at me. So. I'm sure my daughter and my nephew Dominic, if they're still watching, got a kick out of seeing him show up.
So you got 2 new kittens? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they're both brothers. They came from the same litter.
That's the best.
Yeah.
We lost 2 of our kittens over Christmas, or cats over Christmas, and I wasn't ready, but the kids were ready, so they kind of won out, and now we have 2 little yellow terrorists.
Oh, right on.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. We lost our boys about it was about 14 years ago. I didn't think I could go through it again. I hadn't had pets before growing up. I never had pets growing up, but my wife had lots of pets growing up, lots of dogs, and I didn't think I could go, could manage it. after that loss. It was devastating, and I remember at one point just kind of being like, man, I spend all my days in the studio working all the time, and there's like no other heartbeats in this place. So like I think we only went about 2 weeks before I just said, no, we gotta have a cat. I gotta have a cat again. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
heavy. Been getting kittens, like that's a whole new kind of energy, and I know your kids probably love it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we had 3 at one point, and then the 2 passed away. So we had the one, he was left. He was kind of depressed, and he needed somebody. So they kind of convinced me, and I wasn't ready, but they were, and so was Tiger, and they've all kind of bonded pretty well. And
Oh, that's good.
now this one who just was on the desk likes to try to lick my teeth while I'm sleeping at 4 o'clock in the morning. I always have to wake up if I'm with him
Well-
like damn near my mouth.
Trying to
So
steal your
it's
soul.
interesting. Yeah,
We've
he's
all
like
seen that movie.
the Stephen King Sleepwalker thing, or it was Cat's Eye.
Cat's Eye, yeah.
Yeah.
I love dip pens, but I keep forgetting how long it takes the little pools of ink to dry.
What kind of pen are you using?
Oh, just for the for any figures, I prefer a dip pen or a brush, and I like dip. Yeah. Some early. So you were mentioning harsh criticism before. Whenever I go to a convention and I ask for criticism, I'm always saying, please, please insult me. Find everything I'm doing wrong. I can't always see it. Please. I don't have an ego. I don't care. If I cry, I'll give you a tip. Just tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Sounds pretty
That
self-
sounds like a
Nice.
challenge now.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, I don't have, I'm not around people, I don't have people to sit down and work with. I can't review my portfolio regularly with anybody. I get feedback maybe twice a year. So when I go, it has to count. And I take notes and I sit down and review it. I print off a whole bunch of pages from my portfolio so people can redline things if they want to. I go in and I beg for ways to improve. And then I spend 6 months trying to apply that and go again,
Nice.
After you cry on the pillow, right?
Well, but that's normal though. That's standard.
Okay.
But I remember one time early on, I was doing everything with, oh gosh, what do you call them? Mechanical pencils, the microns.
Yeah.
And that was fine because I was like, I'm going to do things the way that, official people do them. But my lines were pretty dead. And somebody described it as coloring book art. And that stuck with me. And ever since, I'm always trying to find a way to bring the lines into the figure and make them more vivid and active and part of the drawing instead of just the rim around it,
Mhm.
So anyway.
Yeah. No, it's
It's
it's good that you take all that feedback. It's hard to get feedback sometimes. I mean,
Mm.
I miss having that feedback reel when I was like at the school with a bunch of other illustrators. Everyone was kind of tackling the same assignment from different angles, and there was that real camaraderie. It's like like hanging out with Hugh at Granite. Like it had a real like problem solving kind of thing. Like he'd be like, "What do you think about this?" And like I'd be like, "How do I draw? Hugh, teach me to draw." And conversations like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's can be so important too, getting those different perspectives or different ways of explaining something. So there was feedback I had gotten like 5 different times from different people, right? Over and over, people would tell me, you need to change this sort of thing. You need to change this sort of thing. And I kept trying to. I wasn't getting what I was doing wrong. It just wasn't, the penny wasn't dropping,
Mm.
But just last year, I talked to 2 different people who explained it such that it finally clicked. And I'm still not comfortable showing them to a lot of people, even though everybody's very kind. Some of the Bishes have seen my attempts at sequential pages, but like I'm finally starting to figure out how to place the eyeline and how to think about perspective in terms of the flow of the page. Because
Mhm.
people would tell me with either some sort of technical term that I wasn't familiar with, or in a way that just oh, work on your perspectives. Great, fine. I've been using perspective tools. I have 4 books on perspective. What do you mean work on my perspective? And it turns out I was drawing everything like I was hovering above the ground, you know?
Yeah, grounding figures with perspective is really a tricky game for sure. It's tough. Putting figures in space is tough anytime. Perspective is, it applies to all the things you're drawing and not just buildings and roads and stuff like that. So it's, I always like to watch Leonard Kirk lay out his stuff because that guy is just a master of perspective. It's just second nature to him.
Mhm.
He draws his figures. Like I'll see him lay out a page and like the figures are in perspective in such a way that you don't necessarily think about, but it's designed to direct the eye in a certain way or take you to the next panel. And it's just an amazing skill to have when it's intuitive like that. When you see someone who's got it so intuitively, it's not intuitive to me at all. I really do have a hard time with sequential sometimes and those kinds of scenarios.
I genuinely
Yeah,
go ahead.
No,
No, I was just going to say, I genuinely feel sequentials are the most difficult kind of art I've ever attempted.
Yeah, no, they're not fun all the time. They can be really fun once you kind of get the hang of it. And I think the big thing is you gotta take the pressure off yourself. You can get very easily hung up on that. I gotta get a page a day done, or I gotta build up my speed, or I gotta whatever. And that's all true, but you need to understand what you're doing first, and you need to understand the limits of rendering and the limits of reproduction, and work big and things get sized down to print size, and some things will get lost if you labor them too much. If you like in my case, I constantly have to resist using my tones and my washes when I'm doing sequentials because I approach everything I do with ink wash, but it's very easy to have your background and middle ground and foreground all competing for dominance
Mhm.
if you don't use them as a tool to separate. We got to get out of our heads sometimes about whether something's going to be realistic or not, whether something
Yeah.
is going to make sense according to the light source you've already established. Sometimes you just
Mhm.
got to say, you know what? I need this wall to be black so that this character pops out. So I'm dropping a giant shadow there, and it doesn't matter because I'm the boss of me. And that's kind of what it has to become sometimes. It's a
Yeah.
really tricky thing to do, though. It's a very tricky thing to do, to let go like that.
So I'm recording this and I'm going to play that segment back to you next time I hear you talking about you being hung up on your work. Hey, Mike, listen to this. Yeah.
No, it's, you learn a lot.
It wasn't a dig or anything. It was a
No, I
great,
get it. No, totally, man.
Yeah. But yeah, because I know you are one of the most, get hung up on your own shit so much that you can't get past the panel sometimes.
Yeah, I have to keep on hammering away at that stuff. And I'll be honest, like it took me 5 years to draw Dodge, a lot of pandemics and things like that in the meantime made it a little more difficult. But overall, I learned that I'm not very fast at comics and I'm not confident enough to probably make a decent living at drawing interiors. I'd still love to do interiors, but I would need to keep it in smaller bite-sized things until I get into a better rhythm of things because it's a whole other skill set and it's a whole other way of thinking. And you can really drive yourself nuts. I know I do in my case. So you gotta get out of your head. You gotta try to relax into it and have fun because comics are supposed to be a little bit fun. And if you have fun when you're making them, it comes through in the page and it's better for the viewer. But yeah, it's hard work most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Steve, Randy's saying, "Come get your kin." Does that mean anything to you? Or
My kin? Probably my sister being an ass.
Fair.
She's kind of invited herself to Granite Con to hang out with all of us next year. So.
Oh, hey, that'll be great.
Yeah, it was so awesome to see everyone at Granite, man. It's such a cool show. It's a couple things that I noticed that were a little different. Like I kind of wish all the artists were together in the same room. I think like if the vendors and the celebs, like the wrestlers and all those kind of characters were in that room together, because that room, like Saturday and Sunday, man, that room, like it was hopping. Like I think the vendors did very well. The artist alley was busy, but the experience that I was getting from a lot of people I talked to was that the sales weren't as strong as they ought to have been for such a busy Saturday. And Sunday, of course, was a whole different animal because Peter Laird showed up, and that was the whole armory, you know.
Oh,
Understandably, but like when I popped over there on Sunday to the other side of the convention, that place was just on fire with people, and and I noticed that there was also comic artists and stuff there and creators like Blake Northcott was there, and just a bunch of people were there who were sitting in the armory last year, and it was kind of weird all together. I always find that to be such a strange choice when shows do that, but a lot of shows do that. I don't really know why.
Okay, so do you guys coordinate in advance where you're going to ask for slots or ask to be near different people? Because I always want to be near people who, I'll know or what have you, but I always wind up in like some back corner hidden by, 3 racks of keychains directly in front of the bathrooms, it's
Yeah, my experience is that a lot of shows don't actually give you any choice in that at all. I know that New
Yeah.
York allows you to say who you'd like to sit by in a world where you got things that you wanted. You can say, yeah, I'd like to sit beside Temple Smith, or I'd like to sit beside this guy, or I want to sit beside Kelly Williams or whatever. And that's happened for me at a couple of shows. That also happened at Heroes once. I said who I'd like to sit with, and I got what I wished. But you don't always get that with shows. A lot of the time it's just a lottery, luck of the draw kind of thing.
Yeah, you can definitely make requests if you know people and things like that. But the biggest thing I think with Granite, the last year I put a request in at relatively last minute, right before they put the table announcements out. But I put a request in to be by the artist that I had done their banners for. So
Yeah.
it put me by RJ and as well that year, and so we all ended up being kind of in that same corner.
That's cool.
And I think this year was big. I think a lot of it was because the Seaboat and Randy had brought so many people in, and
that whole crew was together, man.
Freaking quadrant.
Yeah, we were under the same banner. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a nice setup there, Randy and Sibo, and then Hugh actually had a nice setup too. Hugh had brought his banner, but he didn't have a pipe and drape for it, and they were able to go find pipe and drape for him, so he was able to have his nice big full banner in that row. It was really cool. Really worked out for him. Yeah.
I do got to say this. I was tabled next to Hugh. That guy is the most personable person I've ever met.
Dude,
he was so engaging, so talkative, and I was just like, with my introverted self next to him, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he was a charming beast, man. He is, yeah.
He knows how to work a crowd.
Oh, he does. He knows. I mean, that guy's got fans everywhere, man. He's been to every single show in Canada, and we actually have a lot up here. He's been to all of them. He's very well known. He's a guest at a lot of things because he's just such a good energy to have at the show. He really is just something really special. Yeah, really good dude.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely learned a lot being tabled next to him and the Mike. Don't take offense, but the new Granite State Sketch-Off champion Camillo.
Yeah, for sure, man. That guy can draw.
Sitting there watching both of them do work and draw, and then I actually had the luck of roommating with Camillo and seeing him draw. Me and him drew together the one night, and it was
nice,
absolutely amazing to see him work.
I'm going to cause a controversy right here. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
Hot take.
Yep. I'm Barry Bondsing Camilo's win. There's an asterisk. It needs to be a rematch next year for this. We'll see what the true winner will be.
Oh, it was. I was just honestly, I was very grateful that Hugh wasn't in that sketch battle because Hugh would have walked away with that belt for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying it because Camilo started shit with USA. So hey, now I'm saying straight up, hey, I want that shit back in North America at least. So I'm putting.
It never was in North America. It was in Canada last time.
Okay, do you not know what North America is?
I ate those words immediately.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, I'm sure as those words left, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. It would have been awesome if just literally one person from that crew and from the whole crew, the people cheering me to come back to Granite, or cheering everyone to go back to Granite. If anyone in that crew had been in there, other than the artists themselves, it would have been a really interesting sketch battle. It still was an interesting sketch battle.
But it kind of had that local battles of the band vibe.
You know, we were all, everyone was completely caught in the, and you know, and like it's such a beautiful thing that the man showed up at the show. It really is, and I can't even be mad at anybody about it. But it is, you know, it would have been awesome just to the energy that built up all year around this battle to have not one person from our crew show up to it. Like it was just a very strange thing. It was a very strange, unexpected thing. I'll be honest, like, you know, like I said in my post, there was a lot of things that prevented me from, you know, a lot of things that almost made me cancel the trip because it was ended up being a much bigger expense than planned, and there was a lot of things like, you know, we were looking after our cat who's sick, so Erica couldn't come, and there was a lot of stuff, you know, and I almost canceled, but I was like, no, man, I got to do it for my crew, I got to do it for my people, and not there, man, not a single one.
Like I said, it sounded like you're doing like a local battle of the bands, you know, just kind of playing in front of.
It was really just kind of an eye-opening thing. Like, goddamn, well, you just never know how things are gonna go. But you know what? It was still an awesome time. Camilo did a wicked piece, and it was a lot of fun to just draw with Chris and Bob, and you know, and Ben Bishop, and Chris Ominga was there too, who I hadn't met before, and he really nice guy, and he actually is a former champion who never lost. Because he won one year and then he wasn't able to attend the year after that, and then I believe it was COVID. So I don't know. I think so. He kind of came in as the, you know, the undethroned champion, or however you'd say it. He still didn't win, but he came very close. He came in at number 3. Came in at number 3, which was pretty tough because it was fun, man. It was a good time.
Well, Randy and Carol are both happy that you didn't cancel, so.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. I couldn't cancel on everybody. It just, yeah, you know, it was just kind of like a damn. That's a weird turn of events, but.
Well, next year I'll make sure, you know, Peter shows up on Saturday and I'll lock him in his car on Sunday.
Well, Carol, you know, Carol's amazing. She showed up. She handed me a shopping bag that had about 30 pounds of food in it. There was bananas. And then like a trail mix and all kinds of just amazing snacks, kind bars, and just awesome, man. And a case of water. Like it was, she made sure I didn't fade away that weekend. So it was, it was awesome to hang out with her and have dinner with those guys and Greg and Kenny and like, you know, her son and her nephews there, and it was really cool time. All the places to eat in that town are awesome. I actually really love Manchester, and then to discover that you guys had a late night Ben and Jerry's that's open until 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. You know,
it's the little things.
It was a revelation for me, and it was incredible. We went there, and Hugh had us laughing until I think I still hurt from the laughter. Hugh just unleashed on us like full. When Hugh goes off like that, it's nothing can you can't even get a breath. You're just doomed. You're just doomed to laugh and laugh and laugh. And Hugh's Hugh brings a real special energy to shows, and I can't wait to see him there next year, man. It's going to be an awesome show.
Okay, so now I know who I'm petitioning to sit near.
Yeah, definitely sit near Hugh. Yeah, Hugh's amazing.
Although I will say, if anybody's at Granite State next year, I have a resource that I used for myself, but then, you know, any of you guys, if you need something, I have the most complete mom bag. Like I've been spending years perfecting the mom bag. Like if you need something, I guarantee you I will have it. Something tears, something needs glued, something needs, you know, I've run out of this color of pen that I need for marking. Need an Advil. I need a, you know,
I look forward
small bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. I look forward to comparing our bags because I'm the scout leader with mine. My backpack is.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Yeah, from food to first aid, I've got it covered too.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can give me feedback. I'll take notes.
Oh no, that's it. We'll just dump our bags out on the table and like, okay, we got this covered. We got this
Oh.
covered.
No, I don't dump. Like I'm normally a very disorganized person, but to make sure I remember it all, I actually have I've sewn like little segments into the lining so that I have this bag for this for this, this for this, this for this.
Okay, you're better than it. Yeah, I just got Ziploc bags. That's it.
Mm.
So speaking of Hugh, I'm trying to see when his first appearance on the season is. It's going to be a bit. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, he's not in until November.
Oh,
Oh.
he's a busy dude though, man. He's still got a bunch of shows. He had a show like, man, he's been on the same tour as me, only he's added like 50% more shows at least.
Yeah.
Like he's after Granite, he was like this weekend, I believe he's in Regina, and I believe.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh no. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he's just been super busy. Like he's got all kinds of shows going up.
Yeah, and he's got to promote the book because the book just won again.
I know.
His new book.
I saw that post. That was so nice.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a dude. He's the best, man. I saw some crazy videos of Hugh as a musician because that's something else that Hugh did. He showed me some stuff from the late '90s where he was actually performing at a club in Toronto that I used to go to all the time. He was playing with like a hardcore industrial band called I Die Blind, and they opened up for like Skinny Puppy, and if you're into that kind of scene, or
Yep.
Just incredible. And seeing Hugh, same age as me, like on stage, I was probably at the bar. Like it was this place called the Sanctuary in Toronto. It was like a so-called vampire sex bar. It was just a place.
Oh, yeah, that's the kind of guy you.
But Hugh was like this 6'6", African American dude, like, on stage with all these crazy, hardcore goths, and he just stood out like this titan. The footage of him performing is incredible. I had no idea. He was just throwing down like freestyle rap and with this hardcore industrial sound behind it, and just an incredible guy. And then he showed me a bunch of other videos where he was like a martial art, like part of one of his senseis, and like maybe his sensei in his martial arts journey had done a bunch of videos about like self-defense and stuff like this, and he was an actor in a couple of these pieces and a stunt guy, and just really cool, man. I had no idea he had that whole other life. So yeah. He was doing all that while he was an animation student at Sheridan, while I was there as an illustration student. So kind of weird that we crossed paths so many times but didn't meet until many years later on the comic convention scene.
Life is strange, to be sure.
Dan, you're really outdoing yourself in this week.
Yeah.
That is looking so good.
Yeah. Is it Copics you're laying down? Those gray washes?
It's a mix of fucking everything. Copics, I've got some Faber-Castells, whatever the hell this Japanese something is.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of moving, so I just have literally a bag right now of supplies. I've given up organizing them. It is a cluster of bags, so I'm just grabbing things out of it.
I get it, man. Totally. Yeah, I've been living out of a backpack.
I haven't drawn in weeks really, so it's really nice to spend a whole day. I've been drawing since like 11 a.m. So it's been nice.
Moving is such a big effort, man. No matter how you
it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Selling a house is one of the worst experiences I've gone through in a while.
I can only imagine.
Oh, John Bulmer is saying he's loving the effect on Magneto's head.
Oh, yeah. I broke my rule. I said I was going to do all black and white, and then I definitely came in with purple, but just a little bit.
I love that Cerebus TMNT piece you did, Stephen, for Joshua there. That guy.
Oh, thanks, man.
His collection's pretty awesome. You're in very fine company with that guy's.
Yeah,
hope
I saw everybody basically. He was posting all these pieces, and I was like, "Holy shit!" He actually asked me to do one. I can't like half-ass it. I gotta like go hard on it.
Oh,
I went real heavy with the ink, and then at one point, like I was drawing up in the hotel room, and I was using a sponge to ink the background.
Yep.
And it just spilled everywhere. I was like, oh shit. And I just tried to like at one point you can see like when he posts it, like you can see one big shiny spot. And then I just tried to like change it up, like hit it with a couple different gray splotches and everything to even it out. It ended up coming out a little bit better than I expected, but all I see is that giant black splotch. And I'm just like, and it was too far gone. I had already done everything but the background. I was like, I'm not redoing this.
Yeah. No, you killed it, man. I didn't notice that, but I know what you're saying. It's like I got my picture taken with Arn Anderson, but I'm throwing the 4 Horsemen sign, but my little pinky finger is too flared, and so it looks wrong. And he was like, make sure it looks the way you want it to look. And I think that was him saying, like, you did it wrong, dummy. Do it again. But you know, I was so, like, in fanboy mode. I was, like, just yammering away. You know. And anyway, I got the picture, and I got back to my table, and I was like, shit.
I do got to ask, Mike, because I know you told us the story about Ric Flair. I'm hoping this experience with Arn Anderson was, like, 1,000 times better.
Oh yeah, man, it was awesome. I just wish that I had been to his panel because apparently, like, it was funny. I kind of, you know, came to his table and I was like, oh man, like, you know, he's got the TV title there, and I wish I had talked to him about the Great Muta because that's the belt that he won off the Great Muta, and that was such a memorable match for me. And I just wanted to talk. I literally wanted to talk to the guy for an hour, but Peter hadn't showed up in the room yet, and I didn't know. I knew he was showing up at any time, but at this point, he was already like an hour and a half late. And I was like, if I miss my opportunity, I'm going to really regret it, you know. But I wanted to be there when Peter walked in the room. I wasn't, unfortunately. But I ended up getting to have a cool chat with Arn Anderson instead. And, you know, I mentioned, like, the last time that he and I were in the same building was WrestleMania 8, where, you know, it was Flair and Undertaker. And how he slipped into the ring like a magic trick and hit Undertaker with the spine buster. And he was like, yeah, he goes, I was talking about that in my panel. He goes, I rolled in there, like you said, like a magic trick and perfectly timed that thing. He's like, but I had to run. He goes, you know how long that ramp is in Toronto? I had to run along, like low along the railing to get to the ring, to sneak there, roll into the ring when Flair throws Taker into the ropes, roll in, stand up, give him the spine buster, and then roll out. And it was all one fluid motion, and it was perfect. Like, they perfectly timed it. And I commented on that, and he seemed kind of taken aback that I was like, you know, that was like my favorite Ric Flair match. It's my favorite Undertaker match. And you're the guy that kind of made it that because of the way you showed up. And he was like, 5 minutes after that, he goes, I got injured badly. Like, I got clobbered by the Undertaker, like took a blow to the head, and it busted him wide open. And he bled like a son of a bitch apparently for hours. Like he almost bled to death from the blow to the head he took. So
Nice.
yeah, he said it was the biggest piece of business he's ever done in the sport, which I thought was a really interesting take for a guy who's done everything. Yeah, it was a really cool experience, Steve. Like, he was a real gentleman and just a really nice guy and really generous with his time. And, you know, I think he was kind of looking at me sideways a little bit when I had the belt on.
Oh no, not another one.
I'm like, yeah, so this is a belt that I won in a drawing contest. I'm not
Drawing.
a wrestler. And he was like, you know, I said, I got to defend this belt in about an hour. And he was like, well, go give him hell kind of thing. And, you know, it was good.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking great. Like, it was a really cool. It's not always cool when you meet wrestlers. It can be really awesome, and it can be also really like, fuck, I wish I hadn't done that. But, yeah. I should have told him my Ric Flair story. That would have been hilarious.
He probably would have been like, yeah, that sounds like Rick. Well, it was funny because Ric Flair, I guess, has an energy drink now.
Yes.
Called Woo.
Oh, God.
it was
Fuck
funny because everybody, like a lot of my friends know I like wrestling, and I was leaving Wednesday to drive to New Hampshire from Pittsburgh, and of course Wednesday he was going to be at one of my local grocery stores selling and promoting his new drink.
Oh,
And I
no
was like,
way.
oh, I was like, I'm leaving at like 9 in the morning. He's gonna be there at 3. I was like, I gotta make the drive. I can't like take too much longer because it's like a 10-hour drive. I was like, if I want to leave at 3, 4, I'm gonna not get there until like 2, 3 in the morning. I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave when I'm supposed to. And then it lucked out because I picked up Camilo at the airport because everybody who came international had a giant dumpster fire of a plane ride because
Oh
there's a
yeah.
hurricane going on and then customs and everything. So it worked out. I'm not too mad about not meeting Ric Flair because
He's everywhere.
I
man.
lived vicariously through your story, and I'm just like, oh, I don't really want to meet him now.
Yeah. One day I'll meet him and straighten him out. Maybe.
I think you need to get him into the ring.
I mean, what's
He
funny?
might throw him in the figure 4 and call it a day.
It's just funny that he has a piece of artwork from me in his house, allegedly, and you know, and then that meeting went down the way it went down. It's just so like, if I only could have just said, "Hey, man." Anyway, it's all right. Oh man, I felt really weird though because I'm a huge Mike Rotunda fan, and he was sitting right next to Arn, and then Big Papa Pump was just on the other side of him,
Fucking
and
Big Papa. Oh, wow.
and it was and he was apparently having a great time, but I felt like, I don't know, it felt more special just to go down there and just talk to Arn, and I had to get back because Peter was coming, and I kind of really did have an actual time constraint. I kind of felt a little bit rushed through the experience hanging out with Arn, but there was no one in line behind me. I literally could have stood there all day and talked to him. And but I didn't go over and talk to Mike Rotunda because, like, he would have just buried his son the week before, and I really didn't know. I really didn't know what to say, man. I didn't know what I would even say to the guy. I've been a fan of his since I was 8 years old. I honestly, I just wouldn't know what to say. I was amazed that he was there, but it's been a tough year for a lot of people and creatives and wrestlers alike. So, it was very strange.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of his son Bray's work. So, like, I wanted to go pay my respect to him, but I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. That's
man. I was exactly in the same.
Feels weird.
Yeah, it was too weird. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to appropriately do it, and I just, yeah, man.
So I might be able to help for future situations like that if that's okay.
Sure.
Because in the day job, I work on phones, which is one of the reasons why you can't shut me up. And some of the calls I take are literally with people who've just lost family.
Yeah.
And you've got to. They're trying to get shit done. They're trying to, either focus on something constructive or get it out of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I have found one of the best things you can say is, I don't know what to say. I don't know what you must be feeling right now.
Yeah.
And then just move into it. Just say, I'm so sorry for what you're going through, but I appreciate that you're here anyway because you're one of my favorites. I've admired your work since blah, 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 acknowledge it and then just move into the reason why it's still important that they're there is my personal view.
No, that's really good advice, actually, for sure. Yeah, I just wasn't there yet. I didn't know what to say. He looked a little sad. Like he just, you know what I mean? Like I don't think I would have been able to go there without addressing it. That would have felt just as disrespectful as addressing it in a way. Like, but he wouldn't have come there if he wasn't expecting people to talk about it. Like I saw people walking around with like rest in peace, Wyndham Rotunda shirts and stuff like that. So, yeah. To lose him on the same week as Terry Funk too, that was a double whammy for me. I've been a big fan of Terry's, just as long, and Terry's had a real decline in the past year, but just really sad. Really sad. It always kills me when we lose wrestlers. They never get the ending they deserve. None of
That's
us.
true.
None of us do.
Just realized I erased this poor man's whole tail.
Can't be Nightcrawler without a tail.
Exactly. Like, the hell was I thinking? I was thinking, oh, what a nice, neat page. It'll look so good for the viewers. And then I just go on and, I don't know, rear end castrate the fella. That's no good.
Yeah.
Like the religious man he is.
Mm,
I don't know if it would have been castrated or more circumcised.
Depends on the religion.
Well, yeah, I don't think the Catholics are as hardcore about the circumcision, so, or at least not religiously.
Religious mutilation.
Anyway. All right, so we've got sex, genital mutilation, death of a loved one. Where else can we go with this conversation in the next 5 minutes?
Up, hopefully. Up.
Yeah,
Steven, you got your kitten around?
Yes, please show us the kitten. I really want to see a kitten right now.
They are both standing at the front door, probably about to climb the screen like they did earlier. So,
Aw.
you know.
We had cats a long time ago. Bless them, they were so sweet. But one day they decided to run out the door at the and the thing is, I had 2 very small children at the time, and the kids ran one way, and the cat ran the other, and I was this whole Sophie Choice moment. I chose the human, and we never saw one of the cats again. Felt very sad about that.
Yeah, I probably would have chosen differently, but that's probably why I'm not a parent either. But hey, Steve, your camera is getting like warbly. That's the best way to say it.
My tape's loosening on the holder. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man, I think I'm getting a fever. I feel like I was exposed to some kind of toxic waste in that fucking sink today.
Exposed to sickness at a convention? No.
Flying up into my eyeball, and I kind of lost my mind for a minute. I'm like, I got this toxic, God knows what juice in my eye, in my actual eyeball, and then my wife had to give me eye drops to calm me down. And but I think it's too late. I think I got some kind of
he's done for it.
I got some kind of atomic salmonella from that water today. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling super great.
Oh, I thought you meant for the convention, for the water. Yeah, it could be something to get checked out. Yeah. We've all seen 28 Days Later.
Mike is patient 0.
Get that that one drop in your eye. Goes nuts.
One stray drop. Now I'm like, it's the thing said literally wear goggles, but no, not me. I'm too cool for goggles. Now I have probably E. coli of the eye or something. You know, no good.
E. coli.
Yeah, mainly they wanted that because they know they were
all on its own. So
gonna get that pink eye if you're doing toilets without the goggles.
Yo, this is thankfully kitchen water, but it's like stagnant.
Yeah, I've seen the picture. I wouldn't say thankfully on that one. That might be.
You don't want a big old sip of that, you know.
No.
So, no.
So we're not going to raise money to dare Mike to drink it?
No, we ain't WeWork.
Shout out to Barry Chapman, who kind of texted me later. It was like, oh, man, if I lived closer to you, I'd fix that right up. I'm sure you'd be able to, man. This building was built, I think, on a weekend in 1978 by two super high. Everything's under code. Like, we've had fire inspectors and people come here and just like, I watched a man's hair go from stark black to pure white and he left. Like I watched, I've seen people changed by their experience of doing any kind of maintenance on this place. I was a superhero for 5 years and I had nothing to work with. And the place is just a disaster and it's falling into the ground. And it's been the fact that we've had this plumbing emergency that's affected at least 4 apartments in a fairly significant way. Because when you can't use your kitchen sink, it's a very significant way to be affected. And it's been a really challenging couple of days to come home after a long trip and then have to deal with this and to have no help at all from the actual building management. It's just like a real bad state of affairs here, and so yeah, it's not been any fun. So hopefully, I also won't die from being poisoned by water.
I hope not.
But yeah, plumbing, good fun. All right, washes now.
Only often said by stereotypical Italians.
I'm just sitting here, like zooming in on your own on your guys' screens, just watching what you're doing. You're all so awesome. I should have started at 10 a.m.
That's the golden rule. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. Well, he's drawn like 700 characters on his though, man. That's I'd start at 10 a.m. if I was doing something that ambitious for sure.
Yeah.
The problem is I didn't have any idea what I was doing at 10 a.m. So I just started drawing and it kept drawing.
That's how the best stuff happens, I think, sometimes. I didn't know who I was going to draw either, but then I saw someone had been like, someone suggested Magic or Phantom X, and I was like, oh, I haven't drawn either one of those in a long time. So I actually was going to just do a bunch of sketch covers. I thought I could just knock out some quick like head sketches and stuff on sketch covers, which might have given more people a chance to bid on these. But anyway, yeah. I just kind of started. I kind of whipped this down a little bit before dinner, and then came on at 7 o'clock. But yeah,
I wasn't sure I was even going to be on the show. Stefan reached out to me last night.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't sure if I was going to have to pick up kids at roller skating tonight or not, so I was like, let me let you know later on. And then once I found out I was free, I was like, oh, I got to figure something out.
Nice.
I've been holding off on the next step because I feel like we're about to have to stop. Isn't that right, Stefan?
Yep. I was just waiting for a good break point to let everybody know it's 9 o'clock, and we were going to kind of, call it for an evening. Mainly because, I'll let the stream go if you guys want to keep on. I'm walking away though. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, it's a me thing, not a you thing.
Yeah, I know that's.
I think I'm going to rethink this a little bit. I want to, like, you guys are bringing your A game. I feel like I've brought a B+. That's not acceptable.
Oh, come on, it looks awesome.
I appreciate that, and I like the idea. I think I can zhuzh it a little though.
It's a good pose. Like it's a cool idea too, and those light posts are awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
You've got such a good command of color and light. I feel like you really.
I know. Once you start adding color to that, yeah.
Oh, now you got me smiling. Okay. All right. Well, I will post progress pics as it goes.
There you go.
And
yeah,
it's always wonderful to talk to people on tags.
Oh yeah, man. I missed this show. It's been awesome to come back.
Yeah, I needed this a lot.
I needed this today. I really did need this today. So I appreciate y'all suffering through my anger. My poor wife has to suffer through it all the time, and it's can't be very much fun. So I do apologize to the viewers for anyone who offended by my anti-Century rant. Go enjoy your comics. Read whatever comics you want. Don't listen to literally a cranky old white dude. I have no no dog in this fight anymore. I don't like Century, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So.
That's okay. That's okay. You gave me a target to fight back against. That was worth doing.
And honestly, if people were going to stop watching this for curmudgeon and old white men complaining about something, they would have stopped a long time ago. I've given them plenty of reasons to say, okay, well, what's he going to bitch about tonight? But yeah, real quick, we'll just pass through everyone's art one more time, just kind of get a close up of the visuals going on here. And you got nice magic happening. Oh, don't be silent like that. It's a good Nightcrawler, and you got the good concept going.
You're also like I'm looking at all of this lovely work you guys are doing. I've learned something every time I'm here. And
that's part of the point. I mean, we're here to hang out, do some cool art, learn, bitch about piece of shit's movies that are being put out there. I mean, that's mainly for me, but yeah, you gotta entertain me for that. And occasionally talk about D&D. So,
D&D.
yeah. Okay, well, all right. We will kind of call it here, and we'll see everybody next week. Nathan will be hosting, and it will be Hulk Universe. And in theory, it'll be Paul Lamenko's first show of the season. Sean Hill will be here. Hopefully, everything goes well for him tonight with the storm. Richard Pace and Thomas Day. So it's going to be some heavy hitting on that night, and maybe we'll make room for Mike Rooth if if he gets his sync taken care of.
You know where I am. I'd be happy to jump onto a Hulk show, but I may do a draw along anyway. I have a cover due on when's the 2nd of October? How much time have I got left?
It's after the first.
Not much.
Yeah, not much. Yeah.
So I got a cover due on the 2nd, and I haven't even started it yet. And so next week might not. Well, actually.
Oh, you're already backing out already? Damn, that is a record time right there. And I could swear it was, Stefan asked, I'll be there. I'll do anything for that. But yeah, I see how it is. Feelings hurt.
Unless I have a cover.
Yeah, unless I have real work to do.
You've been a big time. You'd be like, yeah, no, I got this to do. So yeah.
Yeah. You know, that'd be the only thing. If I'm sweating it, I may not be sweating it though. My concept is simple enough. I might be able to knock it out, and then I'd be here. Yeah, it should be fine.
Fair enough. All right, yeah, you got 2 weeks. All right, everybody. Again, thank you all for hanging out, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
great night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Right.